The road we're on is paved in Garth.
Come along on the journey
as we explore
Garthology.
Think of it more as a conversation. I like that. So if this is truly a conversation, then I say let the conversation begin. Showtime!
Hey guys, it's Deb.
And I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess.
Welcome to Season 3, Episode 15 of Garthology. Today's episode, we are going to start with our drawing for our Garth Games winner. I am currently recording us on the podcast, and I'm also recording our random number generator on my computer. So Jess and Pete are watching it. I am going to hit generate. We will see what number comes up. I have generated a spreadsheet of the people that have entered our Garth Games drawing, and whoever number comes up in the random number generator will win the prize. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, generate. And the number is 5. And that winner is Delsa Trammell.
Hey!
Woo-hoo! Congratulations!
Yay! Congratulations, Delsa.
Congratulations.
Delsa, that's awesome. I'm so happy for you. I will get your prize in the mail. Well, I guess first I have to contact you and get your address, and then I will get your prize in the mail. I'm super excited for you. So for today's episode, we are going to discuss information that Garth has talked about on his Inside Studio G weekly Monday conversations, starting with February 14th, 2022. In Season 3, Episode 6, earlier this season, we discussed a couple of the January and a couple of the February Inside Studio Gs. Today, we're going to continue with some information provided by Garth in February and March. Again, these Inside Studio Gs are held live on Facebook and the Garth channel on SiriusXM starting at 4 p.m. West Coast, 7 p.m. East Coast time. Or you can always watch them on repeat anytime on Garth's Facebook page. Just click videos at the top of his page. That will take you to all the videos he's posted. So let's start with February 14th, Valentine's Day. The Valentine's episode of Inside Studio G started with a snippet of Trisha Yearwood inducting Lauren Elena into the Grand Ole Opry, along with the man she introduced as her guitar player, Mr. Garth Brooks. Lauren was shocked and overwhelmed at singing with Trisha and having Garth play guitar for her. It was a really touching video, and when the snippet ended and went to Garth live on Facebook, he was truly overwhelmed at the emotion of what it's like to be inducted into the Opry. Did you guys watch that? I thought that Lauren, I even went back and I watched her video when Trisha announced that she was going to be inducted, which happened in December of 2021. Yep. And she just seemed so deserving, and you could tell she was thrilled.
Yeah, I watched it. And you could tell, when Garth says that there's people deserving of Opry invites, and Lauren Elena is one of them, you can tell with the way that she responded and accepted that she is true to who she really is. And to see somebody that came up from American Idol and who has done what she's done with her career to get to where she's at, so deserving. It was absolutely awesome. And that video was great. The whole play back and forth and, introducing as the guitar player and stuff like that. It was pretty awesome. It was really well done. And she was just overtook with emotion. They were trying to sing and sing and sing. And she just couldn't. She couldn't get the lyrics out. She was just crying like crazy. So it was really neat.
Yeah, it was really good. And in that video where Trisha invited her to become a member, it was so sweet. Trisha called her Mini-Me. Mm-hmm. And they actually look alike. It was very sweet. And you could tell it started out, it was a surprise because that started out with a video of Trisha talking to Lauren. And then all of a sudden, Trisha on the video said, wait, let me go get you something. And then she came out on the Grand Ole Opry stage with her.
Yeah.
And so Lauren didn't know that it was going to happen. And I guess she didn't know that her dad was going to be in the audience.
Correct.
And
That's
so
what I was thinking.
Trisha told her, your dad is here. And Lauren was like, no, he isn't. And Trisha kept saying, yes, he is. He really is. And she's like looking out in the audience going, where are you? Where are you? And her dad stood up. And so, yeah, it was that was just the introduction. So you can imagine, I mean, Lauren was so overcome there. So imagine at this video where she's actually being inducted. Like, that was a big deal. I'm so happy for her. She really deserved it.
So one thing I love, I don't know if you guys follow her social medias like I do, but she does this thing where she does this play on words, Laura Elena, and she'll be like, today was excellent or whatever. And she'll like or like today is like, I don't know, she uses like blue jean in this week. She'll be wearing like a blue jean, like jumper or something. She's amazing at it. It's super funny. She's got a great personality and super, super deserving of the Opry invite. Just an amazing talent, great voice. And I can see why people call her mini-me to Trisha Yearwood. So, hopefully she has a very long and incredible career. She deserves it.
Yeah, that's so cool.
That is very cool.
Another thing they talked about, Garth mentioned this on the Inside Studio G, is about the Grand Ole Opry numbering system when someone's inducted into the Grand Ole Opry. I didn't know anything about that. And so I thought that was really interesting. Each time someone is inducted, so what they do, if someone that is already an active member passes away, then the number of active members decreases by 1. So then when the new person gets inducted, they add 1. So like Garth was talking about how his number was like number 65, I think it was, and Trisha's was like number 67 and so even though there would be lots of people in between, the numbers stay only active members.
Okay.
So it's just a continuation of active numbers. So even Lauren was only number 68. Even though there have been so many people in between Garth and Lauren, she's only 68. He was 65. So they're still that close in number.
Wow.
But I researched it after hearing that because I'd never really thought about it before. There's actually over 200 solo artists and groups that have been inducted. And so I thought that was a really sweet way of honoring the people who have passed away, who are considered no longer active, that they don't just let the numbers build and build and build. They go backwards. And I thought that was really cool. So that was very touching. I found that really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I didn't know they did that.
Also, during this same Inside Studio G, Garth answered a question from Kimberly Houston. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She tweeted, when you sing your songs on stage, what goes through your mind? Do you think of when you wrote it? And Garth says yes. And then she also said, or how the song came to be. Garth said yes. And she said, or are you totally in the moment? And Garth said yes. So I thought that was funny.
Very talented man there.
And I just thought that was a really great question. So now I imagined him as he was going through all these yeses. I imagined seeing him in concert from now on. I will now stop and think, what's he thinking right now? I wonder what he's thinking. Is he thinking, oh, I remember when I wrote this song, or I remember, how that song came to be. And so I thought that was a really cool thing to think about too.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. That's a great question. Great question.
Yeah. And the next tweet that Garth received on this Inside Studio G was from our friend Darcy. That's the one. We did an episode interviewing her recently. She is Garth's sweatshirt swap pal. And in this tweet, Darcy told Garth that she had received his latest sweatshirt. It was the OSU football sweatshirt because, again, this was in February, so it was right after his birthday. He talked about how well taken care of the sweatshirts that she has returned have been and how they smell so good, which we talked a little bit about that in that episode with her. And I love that he commented on that. That's the coolest thing, that he gets the sweatshirts back from her and he thinks they're even better taken care of than when he sent them out.
Yeah. That's one way to keep them coming. That's for sure.
That's right. Take care of it even better than it's your own.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Darcy. I'm so glad for you. He used your tweet. That was cool.
Yeah, pretty neat.
And one of the things about this Inside Studio G, which Garth says it in all of them now, but it particularly hit me on this one. I love that he always ends his Inside Studio Gs talking about how Facebook can be a weapon that can be used for good. You can tell that that concept is really important to Garth. And I love that he understands the power that a social media network has, that it can be used for good or evil, and he wants it to be used for good. You know, he's really out there pushing the people that watch his Inside Studio Gs to really use this as a force for good. And I think that's such an important message. And I'm thrilled that he uses his platform to remind people of this.
Yeah, one thing with Garth is no matter whether it's on social media or, in his concerts when, he talks to the fans in between songs and stuff like that, he always, always, always praises the fact that, we could all do better by one another, by loving one another and, reaching out to the person next to you and showing them love and compassion. And the fact that, he's right. Social media is the strongest tool that is at the tip of everybody's fingers, whether it's Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, whatever it is. And the fact that he does push it to be used for good because there's just so much bad that's out there. To me, it just shows you, what kind of man he really is. And the fact that, he cares about his fans and he cares about the good in this world. So, we saw it through COVID when we were all stranded inside of our house. He used the power of social media to give us what he couldn't give us in person by doing the live shows and the requests and, the big Zoom call meetings and things like that. So things like that show that he understands how powerful social media is, and he uses it the best that it could be used for all good, no bad. You can see it with the fundraisers he's done for Ukraine and things like that. It, again, just shows you what kind of man he is. And, one reason why I, along with probably a lot of people, love this man so much because he's all about the good.
The next episode of Inside Studio G was on February 21st, 2022. And some of the tidbits that Garth talked about in that one, the first thing he talked about was production seats, or what he called production kills. Oftentimes, a day or two before one of his live shows, he releases production seats. And these are seats that during the planning of the show, they say a light will go here or something will go there. But then when it actually gets set up, they don't need those lights there or whatever. So they put the seats in the spot and they release those new tickets. So if you hear about production kills or production seats, that's what he's talking about.
That's pretty neat. Like, I don't, you don't think about it, right? You just think you show up to the concert and they have it all planned out. They know where everything's going to go and all the seats are going to be. And then boom, they put them out for sale.
Right.
And whatever those sale seats are, that's what are available.
Deb, do you think that's what happened with our share seats, our front and center?
That's what I think. Yep.
And then a spot like that comes up, right? Like a big light fixture. You think about it. Well, it's not that big, but you could fit 4 to 6 seats there. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. I'm actually hoping to get some production seats. Fingers crossed for Utah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping that will happen.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I will be there. I will be holding my sign that says, "Look down."
Look down. Look down. The friends in the 411 places.
That's right.
We'll all be pulling for you that he looks way down.
Way down. Yes. Next on Inside Studio G, Trisha popped in and brought him his wedding ring because he forgot to put it on. I thought that was hilarious, right? I'm sure she didn't want to have any rumors starting on Facebook. So they were so cute. He slipped it on. They shared a little kiss. Yeah. And then she ran away.
Thinking about like that little thing, right? That little thing goes back to what we were talking about how powerful social media is. Gosh forbid somebody catches on that. Boom. Lightning, like just fires start going everywhere. Rumors, right? That's crazy.
Yeah. So I thought that was really sweet of her to do that, to be like, nope, still my man. Yeah. Comes running in, put the ring on. Next, he performed a little bit of The River live as requested by a tweet from one of his Australian fans, a woman celebrating her birthday, and he teared up a little, and it was so good, and it was so sweet of him. I just love that he can't control his emotions, He doesn't have a filter. It just comes out of him. There's nothing he can do about it. He doesn't try to stop it. He just lets it happen. And I love that.
I love that too.
All natural, genuine, There you are.
He just says, this is me. And I think it's happening more and more lately. And I'm sure it's because of this crazy world we live in. He just lets it come out. And so I appreciate him for being strong enough to do that, because I do think that takes strength.
Absolutely.
Okay. Moving on, they next showed a video of Kathy Cahill, Bubba Strauss's wife, and at the time they were celebrating their 31st wedding anniversary, and it was a very sweet video, and Garth, you could tell, he was really touched, and I thought it was hilarious because Kathy mentioned that Bubba loves Garth more than her.
That's so great. Then when I first saw that in the interview that they did together, Bubba and Garth, that will never, ever go away for them.
That's awesome. 31 years together, but she knows that Bubba loves Garth more than her.
That's so funny.
Right? That's amazing. So I messaged with Bubba recently, and unfortunately they're not planning to go to the Utah show, so I won't get to see them there. So that makes me sad, but luckily we still stay in contact with them over messages, so that's good. So shout out to you, Bubba. I hope you're doing well, and we're all thinking of you.
Absolutely.
Next on Inside Studio G, they talked a little about Garth opening a bar and how drink names could be from his songs. So one in particular he mentioned that came in on a tweet was Blessing and a Curse. And I think that's a great drink name.
Unbelievable.
Right? That is such, and I think we've talked about this in a previous episode, but I just had to mention it again because it came up on this Inside Studio G also. I just think that's the best drink name ever. And I would buy those to the point where it would be a blessing in the moment, but a curse the next day.
The next day. That's so good.
I just love that. I think that's a fantastic name. Now, since these Inside Studio Gs have come out, of course, Garth has announced the bar officially. He's announced the name officially. The name is Friends in Low Places. They've actually opened up a shop at the spot. It's 411 Broadway in Nashville is the address. And they have it now as a shop where you can go in and you can buy Garth and Trisha merchandise. For right now, that's all it is because it's being worked on. But it is official. It's happening. They have not set an open date yet. However, they have opened all of the social media accounts for Friends in Low Places. And all of the social media accounts are at Friends Bar Nash. At Friends Bar Nash. So if you want to follow the social media accounts for the Friends in Low Places bar in Nashville, that's what you want to hit up.
I don't know how I'm going to get this. So, on Instagram, they have one post, 10,000 followers, 24 hours after they went live.
Wow.
And they're following two people, Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood.
What, they're not following you?
Not yet, but I just sent in a request.
Who is it?
the Friends in Low Places bar. Their social media accounts.
They're following two people, Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood. So I just put in a request for them to follow me, please.
You are going to be number 3.
I definitely think they could, because I think that Garth would like your barbecuing.
See that? We could put a Traeger up in that son of a gun.
Yeah.
And then there's barbecue there on the rooftop.
And smoke everything.
Yeah, right out of that son of a gun.
He did mention in a recent Inside Studio G something about an oasis on the roof.
On the roof, yeah. I heard that.
Oh, I can't wait to go there.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
I'm excited.
We're going to have one of those blessings and a curse drinks.
I'm telling you, 3 of them. I'm having at least 3 of them. Okay, so then we got to my very favorite tweet of this episode, because it was from us.
Oh, you kidding me? Look at us go.
Yeah, it was so exciting. Our podcast tweeted to Garth, researching for our Garthology podcast and wondering if you know how many songs you and Miss Yearwood have recorded together, duets and background vocals. And Garth answered it. Yeah, he did. So I will include that bit of audio here now.
Garthology, researching our Garthology podcast and wondering if you know how many songs you and Miss Yearwood have recorded together, duets and background vocals. Wow. I wouldn't know. I know just on the Garth stuff alone, I'm guessing over 70 to 80 songs.
Wow.
I mean, my biggest, when people go, what's your one regret in the music business? Here it comes. I got to go into the Musicians Hall of Fame with the G-Men, which is the family that's cut every Garth song. 7 players, engineer, producer, and the artist. 11 of us went in. That night from the podium, I realized Miss Yearwood should have gone in with us. Because that woman's voice is as much Garth record as any. I mean, there's not a song that you can mention that she hasn't done the vocal on. So here's one of the surprises you won't believe. Ask me how I know. There are 2 lines in that chorus that's too high for me to sing harmony on. She gets on the mic and does her best Garth impersonation, and nobody knows it's her.
What?
Wow.
That's just what she does. And so she's got no ego. She don't care if people know it's her or not. She just wants what's best for the song. So she's been doing that for me my whole career. Just love it. We did a Dan Fogelberg tribute, and Dan sings through the ceiling, right? But I wasn't about to drop the key, just my own ego. And she got in there and did a lot of the harmonies, a lot of the lead lines for me as well.
Wow.
She's great.
She is the queen of impressions, I have to say.
She is the queen of impressions, yes. And you haven't seen any of her impressions that are alcohol influenced. Those are the best.
All right, so that was super exciting. I was so glad that he responded to our tweet. He said our name. That thrilled me.
Yeah,
I just
so awesome.
couldn't believe it. He said the Garthology name, and I was cloud 9 for days after that. So thank you, Garth.
Yeah, that was so cool.
It's so cool to go back and listen to them all. Every once in a while you can just go back and listen. Oh, that's cool.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So the next Inside Studio G was held on February 28th. There were lots of tweets on this one. There were some really cool fan moments that happened. And they also announced that Trisha put out a line of dog food. And that's only available at the Kroger family of stores, so you can only find them there. And I just thought that was such a cool thing for her to do. She talks about her 2 dogs all the time. She loves those dogs, and they're her fur babies.
Yeah.
And so I was super happy that she put out a line of dog food. And I need to get to a Kroger family store and buy some for Rocky.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, you can find Kroger, because when we were in San Diego at the show there, you had me walking all over downtown San Diego looking for an autographed bag of dog food in some Vaughn's Pavilion somewhere
I did.
Yeah.
It's true, because Trisha had posted on Instagram earlier that day that she'd gone into a grocery store and autographed one. Yeah. So I went to find it. I dragged Pete with me, and I never did find it, but I searched.
Yeah, we did. We looked up and down, in and out, pulled all the bags off the shelf, hoping to find it, but didn't get it. One day. Trisha, we need one.
Someday. Yes.
I don't think we have Kroger's here.
I wonder if, because I know it's a family of different ones. There's Bonds, and I'll have to look them up because they own more than just a Kroger store. Because I know there's...
It's under an umbrella or something of different stores.
Yes, exactly.
We'll have to put a list out on our website.
Yes.
Anyone looking for Trisha's dog food?
This is where you can find it. Yes. All right. The next Inside Studio G was held on March 7th. And that was right after our San Diego concert. We went to the San Diego Stadium tour on March 5th. So this was right after that. We had actually, in the review that Pete and I did of that show, we mentioned that Garth didn't take a bow with the band, which we thought that was really unusual. Of all the times we've seen him, he's always done that.
Yeah.
And during that Inside Studio G, someone had actually tweeted him about that. And he answered it. He said that he was just worn out and totally out of shape. And that just cracked me up. It was the stadium show was just returning after another COVID break. So it was their first time out again. And so he was just worn out. He said he just couldn't do it. He thought it was over. He walked off the stage.
I'm done.
Yeah. Never even realizing he didn't take a bow.
Exit stage right.
I feel you, Garth. I'd be done too. I couldn't run around the stage like he does. Not and sing too.
Right? And all that going, throwing water. But it was crazy because Aunt Deb, on the way home, we were talking about the things that we noticed were a little different in that show. And we wondered if it was just simply because, it was the first show back from the COVID break and, things maybe got misplaced or, forgot or whatever the case is. And the fact that somebody had picked up on the same thing that we discussed about not doing the bow. And that he answered it. It's good to have that reassurance that everything was okay. He was just out of shape. And
he was just worn out.
Yeah.
So were we, buddy. So were we.
All right. Well, that's it for this episode. We will revisit some of Garth's past Inside Studio Gs again on another upcoming episode. Now, let's go over to Pete for a shout out to one of our newest Garthologists.
Shoutouts.
Okay, so this shout out goes to our newest Garthologist, Amy Trish. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but we wanted to give you a big shout out and thank you very much for the very, very sweet and detailed email that you sent us. You had a lot of great show ideas, which I imagine we will use some of them going forward. So thank you again for your support. We love interacting with you, and we're glad to have you aboard the Garthology podcast.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy, so much. I really love chatting with you, and I look forward to doing it again soon. Have you checked out our website at garthology.com yet? If not, stop by today and check out our past episodes and bonus content. And remember to hit subscribe on whatever platform you use. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, it's been quite a long time since our last review. If you get the chance, please stop by and hit that 5-star button if you like what you hear and encourage others to listen. Finally, be sure and share us with everyone you know. That way you can help your friends in low places become Garthologists too.
Yeah, and talking about friends in low places, if you guys are on social media, you could find our Garthology podcast social media. If you're on Facebook, we are at www.facebook.com/GarthologyCast. And if you're on Instagram or Twitter, we are at GarthologyCast there. We do appreciate all the interactions, the support, the likes, the tweets, the retweets, and the shares. And also, we are now on TikTok at GarthologyCast as well. So make sure you check everything out there, share it with your friends, and help us get those followers up and the interactions and the likes. We really appreciate the support. Thank you.
Be sure to join us for our next episode of Garthology, where we'll be celebrating the 2-year anniversary of the Drive-In Garth shows. That will be Season 3, Episode 16, and will air on June 27th. Get to hear about our experience, and we're also going to share several write-in experiences that we had from all of our Garthologists. So be sure to show up for that episode, and until then...
This has been Season 3, Episode 15 of Garthology, and I'm Deb.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, from the looks on your faces, I thought the two of you were going to like duke it out for like who could wait the longest.
Finish it! Finish it!
Bloopers.
Oh, right. I'm not still sitting by the microphone.
Oh, shit. Oh, shoot. Shit. Bo, close your ears. Shit. Shit, Bo.
No.
Bo can't even hear it, and he got startled.
He was like...
He was like, what happened? It's like a boom.
I spilled tea all over my...
Oh, no.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. Oh, well. It is what it is. What are you going to do?
You needed a new keyboard anyway.
Yes, that's it. I wonder if that liquid's going to stop flowing at any point. I literally spilled the tea.
You literally
Holy
did.
crap, that's amazing. But at least I'm recording all this, so we have it for posterity.
Hey, Aunt Deb, on your screen, what side is going to be the random generator?
See the blue line?
Yeah, no, we see the reflection of your blinds.
Oh, there's not a damn thing I can do about that.
That's okay. We trust you.
Okay.
Ooh, that's
look at
better.
this.
Oh,
How about that?
well, it's kind of
Is that better?
crooked.
Not really.
Can you see what you're showing us?
Oh, wait. Sorry. I was looking at my phone, and I'm going, no, it's perfect. This is ridiculous. Holy crap.
Jess is like, can you see what you're showing us?
It's like, no, it looks good. And I'm like,
What you got in that tea, Auntie?
if I'm like this,
Does it, though?
that's
Does
better.
it really, though?
Yeah, that's-
Okay, how about now? Okay. All right. I've been recording this whole time on my phone and on the podcast thing. That's amazing. What's happening now?
What was that, Jess?
Sorry. No, I'm trying to listen to you guys, and he's playing with this walker, and it's going meow, meow, and then the dog's like, I'm like the menagerie in the background.
It just lives at the zoo now.
Yeah, Jess,
Sounds
welcome to the
like
Oklahoma Zoo.